Thank you for visiting the Coin Lady channel again. According to the data, the present retracement is the deepest in the cycle-wrecked capital's history, surpassing the 22.9% retracement from early 2023 by a wide margin. Here is Bitcoin on an hourly chart. At the moment, we're at 57. In case you missed it, the price took a nosedive after falling below the $59,000 mark. Nearly $57,700 for one Bitcoin. Now, if we drop the price any further, it will likely be in the $50,000 range, somewhere around this level, and we still have time to reach there, people. As of right now, there isn't enough information on the chart to give us full confidence, so Shattered Capital is stating things like, the longest pullback in the cycle has been 63 days. Once again, the current retreat is 48 days long and 23.6% deep. Bitcoin has already reached its deepest retracement point in the cycle and is now just 13 days away from matching its longest retracement point. As you can see, altcoins are mostly in the red at the moment, with only Polkad and a few others showing any signs of green. Bitcoin and altcoins are currently suffering greatly in the Space Sentiment Index, which is now down near 52. The market cap has dropped significantly, from close to $2.5 trillion near Bitcoin's all-time high, and the uncertainty is palpable in the air and in space. People I know are reaching out to me, asking me what the fuck is going on with crypto at the moment. We have reached 2.15 trillion currently. You can observe the sell-off reflected in the volume, which has increased due to the significant sell-off, with Bitcoin dominating at 53%. Therefore, altcoins have maintained some of their worth relative to Bitcoin despite the fact that they have been falling in value alongside Bitcoin. Ali man, you're making an important point about how Bitcoin consolidated for long periods of time during the last two halving events, 189 days in 2016 and 87 days in 2020, before the bull run started up again. This is the second aspect that we ought to be considering as well, so, to reiterate, folks. Every time the Bitcoin movement reaches its euphoria phase, we tend to forget about this period in the cycle. But that's just how it works. Because we don't look back and don't remember how it felt during the last halving in May of 2020, no one ever mentions that people always remember how they felt during that time, both the euphoria and the down periods when the market bottomed out. The trip through the highs and lows, the swings, is often overlooked, yet it is just as important to consider how you felt throughout these times. I believe it is crucial to keep these moments in the space in mind. After 60 days of consolidation, Bitcoin is still in the green. So, that's far shorter than 2016's 189 days. Along with what we did observe in 2020, which is around 1 month away. The outcome this time around is completely up in the air. If you would want to have a closer look at these charts, I will include a link in the video description. In TradingView, though, you can observe it for yourself. You can track these peaks and valleys, as well as the duration of each using the Vault and the Date Range tool, and you can see that Bitcoin did not see a surge in value until 151 days into 2020. The Pricing Range tool is available for use in many of these cases. As you can see, we did experience a decline of 19% following the halving. We did fall 20% again after this initial surge to the upside, so I'm guessing we're down a lot more than that. In light of this newly printed all-time high, let's take a look at where we stand right now. The man is right, we're only down roughly 23%. It may not appear like it, but it's actually only 23%. And even if we dropped it to 30%, it would still be quite similar to what we saw earlier. We would then be down to approximately $50,000, 50, 51, 52,000. This is the range of possible outcomes in the cryptocurrency market if you are unprepared. Perhaps this is bringing this up for the benefit of stock money lizards. Although some have found it annoying, Bitcoin did lose its most crucial level of support today. However, we appreciate all of the thoughtful comments on our most recent Bitcoin thread. So he wants me to lead him through this. I won't, however, cover some of the ground below. Alright, the point of control is currently at 67,000, which is where Bitcoin was rejected. The value area is also rather low, sitting at 61.8. By the time we close above this level, it will likely become resistance. The subsequent 60,000 layers of support should provide some psychological assistance, even though we did go below that level. But you can expect genuine support at 56,050 and 2,000 respectively. So, as I just showed you over there, we're currently hovering around 57,000, which is the $56,000 mark. Plus, he delves a little farther into this point. As I mentioned before, I'll provide a link in the description for those who are interested in reading more. For now, it's just a matter of waiting. Looking at the XRP chart, you can see that, although it has dropped slightly, it has not completely crashed like Bitcoin, only dropping to 49 cents. I believe we were trading close to 49 cents yesterday. In any case, as I mentioned before, altcoins have mostly maintained their dominance. There is still a long way to go in this bull run, so keep in mind that we aren't even halfway through 2024, let alone close to the year or even into 2025. This bull run is expected to reach its euphoric phase at that point. Now, to make matters worse, we also have this bad news. The United States Department of Justice has today accused Roger Ver, an early Bitcoin investor and notable crypto player, on charges of mail fraud, tax evasion, and submitting fake tax returns in an effort to avoid paying more than $50 million in capital gains taxes. Thus, the individual occasionally known as Bitcoin, the hundreds of millions of dollars that Jesus earned in Bitcoin in 2017 were not subject to capital gains taxes. According to the DOJ, he was apprehended in Spain over the weekend and his extradition to the US is being sought, and he is known as Bitcoin. After giving up US citizenship, Jesus established businesses, and became a citizen of St. Kitts and Nevis. He was first accused of not filing tax reports related to the sale of assets or paying the exit tax on capital gains. Well, that's all there is to it. This kind of thing is something that people wonder about, you know. This is just one example, there are many more. While we're at it, I'll also bring up this one. Regarding notable figures in the cryptocurrency industry, such as Roger Ver, I can think of a few original Bitcoin developers whose choices from a decade ago have made them household names today. One more is by Changpeng, co-founder of Nance. Also, following a plea deal, he received a 4-month prison sentence yesterday. According to the US prosecutors, the crypto billionaire stepped down as finance CEO as part of his agreement with the Department of Justice. On Tuesday, Nance founder and CEO Changpeng, who pleaded guilty to money laundering violations in November, was sentenced to 4 months in prison. Does it happen by chance? You honestly believe that the news will break on tax day, April 30th, the day you're supposed to pay your taxes? Every once in a while, I catch myself thinking, this is all a stage, how could it possibly be real for all 365 days of the year? So, there have been these takedowns of prominent crypto figures. When is April 30th? On the bright side, the announcement is scheduled for April 30th. Still, I'm getting off track. Even though we are in neutral ground, it does nothing to boost confidence in the crypto industry that these major players are becoming involved. They aim to degrade the sentiment, that's all. They would rather we feel like failures and that we should have cashed out a month ago than that we become rich. By glancing at the charts and the past, though, the exhilaration will pick up for the boys. Listen, I've been through this before. Some of you have been here before, so it's not a first. So I'm assuming you get what we're going through right now. Instead of bringing up any intriguing news about the hash key announcement the other day, I will link the video I created on it in the top right corner in case you guys missed it. As a result, this is an interesting item to observe. Machine learning and artificial intelligence have been used by Ripple to forecast asset demand for some time. I also anticipate seeing a great deal more of that in the near future. Since they have been associated with several businesses that are typical of Ripple, and since all of their work is devoted to trade finance, it is reasonable to assume that their newfound knowledge might be quite useful in this field. Oceanus, Valency, New Horizon, and Star Dreams are some of the company's nutritional sources. ML and AI aren't only useful for sourcing payments, They have many other commodities and applications as well. Well, that concludes our video. Like and subscribe as usual, and feel free to leave a comment with your opinions. Coming up shortly, farewell.